Hi everyone, it is by request that I am here. Astar, what are we doing for fall this year? Well, have I got you covered, and I've been having a lovely time thinking about the fall. The reason I'm thinking about the fall is because it's fall at my place. You guys on that in the Northern Hemisphere, you're enjoying the spring. I hope you enjoy it because I got a bit busy and I didn't enjoy it as much as I should, but I won't be making that mistake next year. But anyway, it's all about fall. I've also had requests as to how you've talked about the kind of colours that need to go with what colour, this texture with this texture. You can't use shinies with dulls. Well, I want you to know that yes, you can at certain times of the year. Now, when I think of the fall, I think of different light. And I see, when I'm looking around, I see things like copper, you know, and what I love about this container is it's a little bit burnished, so it's not shiny, shiny, shiny. It's got those little marks in it. Actually, I took to it with a poly pad because it was just a little bit too bright for me. And then what I did was I got a little bit of nuggety stuff and I just rubbed it over. Actually, it was waxed, and then I just rubbed that back. And the other thing I'd like to do is a little bit of wood ash on wax sticks to it. And it's just a matter of going like that, giving it a like that, and then dabbing it with the waxy cloth, and it sticks. I just love it. Now, I've got all of these materials here, and I've got a big empty cavity, and I want you to know that trying to fill that with anything is very, very difficult. So here's another tip from me. I'm going to use the magnolia, and the reason I'm going to use the magnolia is because of this beautiful colour on the outside. Now, I saw these on Amazon, very cheap at the moment. Well, I shouldn't really say that because it might not be cheap when it gets to be, this goes to here. But anyway, I have seen them there and they were quite inexpensive. Now, I'm not cutting them. I'm leaving those bent up like so because there is something I need to share. Okay, so they're just going to go down and into there. Now, I could start just putting all my materials in, but I've got an even better idea for making things stay. Just get a smaller container. I've got a little bit of foam into that, and then just push that down into there like so. Haha, look at that. That's just not quite sitting the way I want it, so I'm just going to turn that around. Ah, that's better, that's better. I don't want this to be even because when it comes to the fall, what I love is the informalness of everything. Nothing's perfect anymore. There's leaves falling off trees, and where the wind got in, there's more leaves off one side than the other. But we don't actually go into the garden and say, oh, look at that. That doesn't look visually right, does it? We don't. We just take it for what it is and we move on. Okay, so the next thing to go into here is I have this beautiful garland, and the lovely thing about the fall is when you look into this beautiful leaf here, this maple leaf here, and then look into the side of the container, that colour comes into here. And even this is shiny, but the shiny actually against the dull kind of brings everything together. I love that. So with this, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to just plonk that on the top like so, and then take that down and into the foam like so. And this is sort of like, oh, look at that. It's informal and it's rustic, and the way that that moves into there, it just gives it some little bit of movement. I just love it. Okay, the next thing to go into here is the pear. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that, break that off there, and because the garland wants to move around, just by bringing that pear into there, it's just like, haha, I've got you encapsulated and held and bound where I want you. Also, when you look into the pear, it's got those lovely little sort of beautiful apricot-y peachy kisses which connect back into the lovely grape ivy or whatever that is. Maybe it's a maple garland. I've never seen a maple garland, but you know, who cares? It doesn't matter. Okay, now the other thing I've been hearing and had requests for is to, can you put fruit with flowers? My goodness, yes you can. And as I said with my potted flowers, the Victorians were very good at adding fruits and garlands and all sorts of things into their arrangement. So, and the other thing is with that beautiful green there, it's a lighter green than the maple, and that little kissy colour of peach or apricot is on it as well. So all I'm going to do with these is I'm going to bring those into there, and I'm just going to let that fall. Now what I've done with these is I have wired them, and it's just a matter of getting your wire, because grapes never have a long stem, just bringing that down through like that, holding that in one hand, and then just twisting that around and down with a bit of wrist action, taking that there off because we know what's going to happen with that. So I've got one there, and I've got a little space in here, so I'm going to bring that over to there, and then I'm going to, just by manipulating, that's better, the vine, I'm going to bring that down and into the foam so that they just drip down the sides like that. Doesn't this just look like autumn harvest? I love it. Okay, the next thing to go into here are, I've got some banksias. Now I'm not going to cut these banksias because I actually quite like them, but what I can do is just fold those back. Oh, that's broken. So because you're broken, you'll do me. I'm just going to stick you down and into there. I've got to be careful in here now. You can just sit, oh, look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? So now we've got, I think that for fall designing or any kind of designing, just getting your colorway sorted out and using shades and tones and tints and roughs and smooth. And when you see those lovely banksia cones in with the other colorings, it's just building this beautiful picture up. Okay, so with these, I'm going to bring this over and into there like so that it goes out the side, bend that down and stick that to go in over there. So we've got one up and one down, just a little bit of movement I think is great. Now for those who ask for not too full-on orangey fall, little bit softer Astar, I found these dried hydrangeas and I absolutely love them. All the colours are in here. Gorgeous. Now, don't cut. If you don't need to cut, don't cut, because come next year, I could have another idea on how to use these. So what I want to do with this is stick that down into there. And because they're quite big, they're a big form, they're light, I'm just going to take these down and into the base of my container. So one over there, one to there, and then I'm going to bring the other one up and over and into the back like so. Look at that. Oh, that is gorgeous. And I love this bit here that sort of just can't decide whether it's meant to be in or out. So it can just be where it wants to be. Now the next thing I've got now are these lovely dried roses. Look at that colour, that beautiful peachy apricot. So these are now going to be my focal. So one moment please while I just get these down and into here. I've got to be a little bit careful because I did what I shouldn't have done, which has made it a little bit messy with all my textures into here, but that doesn't matter. Just have those stepping down, some a little bit higher, some a little bit lower, and I'll be back to show you in a tick we're going to be done, and it's just going to look fantastic, beautiful on a coffee table, on a mantle. It's a bit high there, that can go over to there. Look at that. Now this bit here that's on its own, thinking it can just have a lovely time just going wherever it wants, I'm just going to tuck that around there and have that down and into there. I love it. How quick and easy was that? Fall, not too fall, little bit muted, perfect. For those of you who are looking for not too fall and a little bit muted. Hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed sharing it with you, and I look forward to seeing you all again another day. Bye for now.